This is the introduction to The Discoverers, A History of Man's Search to Know His World and Himself by Daniel J. Boorstin. On the cover page in here, he says, "And take upon the mystery of things as if we were God's spies." That's from Shakespeare's King Lear, Act 5, Scene 3. Then he quotes Francis Bacon from The Advancement of Learning in 1605. Bacon says, "Nay, the same Solomon the king, although he excelled in the glory of treasure and magnificent buildings, of shipping and navigation, of service and attendance, of fame and renown, and the like, yet he maketh no claim to any of these glories, but only to the glory of inquisition of truth. For so he saith expressly, the glory of God is to conceal a thing, but the glory of the king is to find it out. As if, according to the innocent play of children, the divine majesty took delight to hide his works, to the end to have them found out. And as if kings could not obtain a greater honor than to be God's playfellows in that game." So beginning on page X5, a personal note to the reader. My hero is man the discoverer. The world we now view from the literate West, the vistas of time, the land and the seas, the heavenly bodies and our own bodies, the plants and animals, history and human societies past and present, had to be opened for us by countless Columbuses. In the deep recesses of the past, they remain anonymous. As we come closer to the present, they emerge into the light of history, a cast of characters as varied as human nature. Discoveries become episodes of biography, unpredictable as the new worlds the discoverers open to us. The obstacles to discovery, the illusions of knowledge, are also part of our story. Only against the forgotten backdrop of the received common sense and myths of their time can we begin to sense the courage, the rashness, the heroic and imaginative thrusts of the great discoverers. They had to battle against the current facts and dogmas of the learned. I have tried to recapture those illusions about the earth, the continents, and the seas before Columbus and Balboa, Magellan and Captain Cook, about the heavens before Copernicus and Galileo and Kepler, about the human body before Paracelsus and Vesalius and Harvey, about plants and animals before Ray and Linnaeus, Darwin and Pasteur, about the past before Petrarch and Winckelmann, Thomson and Schliemann, about wealth before Adam Smith and Keynes, about the physical world and the atom before Newton and Dalton and Faraday, Clerk Maxwell and Einstein. I've asked some unfamiliar questions. Why didn't the Chinese discover Europe or America? Why didn't the Arabs circumnavigate Africa and the world? Why did it take so long for people to learn that the earth goes around the sun? Why did people begin to believe that there are species of plants and animals? Why were the facts of prehistory and the discovery of the progress of civilization so slow in coming? I have included the story of only a few crucial inventions: the clock, the compass, the telescope and the microscope, the printing press and movable type, which have been essential instruments of discovery. I have not told the story of the shaping of governments, the waging of wars, the rise and fall of empires. I have not chronicled culture, the story of man the creator, of architecture, painting, sculpture, music, and literature, much as these have multiplied the delights of human experience. My focus remains on mankind's need to know what is out there. The plan of the book as a whole is chronological. In detail, it is a shingle scheme. Each of the 15 parts overlap chronologically with its predecessor as the story advances from antiquity to the present. I begin with time, the most elusive and mysterious of the primitive dimensions of experience. Then I turn to Western man's widening vistas of the earth and the seas. On to nature, the physical objects in the heavens and on earth, plants and animals, the human body and its processes. Finally, to society, finding that the human past was not what had been imagined, to the self-discovery of man the discoverer, and to the dark continents in the atom. This is a story without end. All the world is still an America. The most promising words ever written on the maps of human knowledge are terra incognita, unknown territory.